Yes, madam. Shrivani, madam, you can start now.
Sorry?
Please start, madam.
Yeah, thank you. A bright Friday morning to our respected HOD, Professor Rajendra Prasad, esteemed faculty and our jubilant, fresh, budding engineers. I, Shrivani from the Department of English, welcome you all to the fifth and final day of this 5-day induction program. I hope the sessions have implanted fervor and aspirations in your hearts to tread your new path of success. Parenting, learning, situations, and habits play a key role in shaping one's personality. To augment the importance of grooming our personalities for a better life, we have Dr. Sairam Reddy Palicherla with us, who is the co-founder and director, research in Urban Kissan Farms, Inc., USA, and director, Heartfulness Institute, India. Innovative, creative, pragmatic, determined, and winsome. These are the words to describe Dr. Sairam Reddy Palicherla. I'm honored to introduce you all to such an eminent and humble soul with a burning desire to improve the lives of human beings and who is on a mission to achieve the extraordinary. Dr. Sairam is a passionate researcher and entrepreneur aimed towards developing environmentally safe and sustainable agricultural technologies. He obtained his PhD in plant biotechnology from SV University, Tirupati, in collaboration with Indian Institute of Sciences, IISc, Bangalore. He did his postdoctoral research in IISc, Bangalore and in University of Delaware, USA. He also did many certified diploma courses from Nalsa University, ISB, Stafford University, Harvard University, and a few more reputed universities in the areas of IP, law, entrepreneurship, personality development, and philosophy. Currently, he is leading the R&D of his own startup company, Urban Kissan, which is aimed at producing the safest and cleanest food for the urban dwellers. He developed several safest and cleanest food for the urban dwellers. He's developed several protocols for soil-free cultivation of most of the Indian vegetables under the controlled environment with complete automation. Urban Kissan is named in the top 100 emerging innovative companies in the world and the top most influential projects in India for the year 2020. He published over 30 research articles in peer-reviewed international journals. He was honored by national and international scientific bodies and received many awards for his scientific contributions, including National Fellow in Biotechnology by Government of India, Best Project Leader and Best Mentor by JK Organization, Outstanding Biotechnologist by WCPTC, Sri Lanka, and Dr. APJ Kalam Excellency Award by Mother Foundation. He was recently named in the top 10 best leaders in the field of agriculture in India for the year 2020 by CEO Insights magazine. He has been a sincere seeker of spirituality, practicing heartfulness way of meditation for more than 2 decades. He is currently extending his voluntary services as director for Heartfulness Institute, India, and also a trainer of heartfulness meditation, and contributing his part in building stress-free society orienting towards higher life goals. Welcome, Dr. Sairam Reddy. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So very good morning to all my beloved faculty and the new budding engineers. A warm welcome to this. I think it's the last day of your orientation session. So can I share my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I know generally, though talking about personality and all is very boring, especially for youth like you. It may appear like boring, but we keep hearing about it all the time, right? But I request you to pay attention to this one last time, probably. It might change our perception about it. It may influence our life. It may take us somewhere. We do not know. In fact, this is the core of everything. We may become engineers, doctors, lawyers, or anything, whatever is in the society. But primarily, what we need to understand is we are human beings, and we must have those human values. And what are these values? How they emerge? How they appear? What happens to these values? This is the core. Whatever we may be professionally, we will be received not as a professional but as a human being, even in our professional environment. This is what we should understand. See, I named this topic as a personality management. Sometimes, we may wonder, what is this personality management? Most of the times people talk about personality development, but I'm calling it as personality management. So this is something, the curious point, which we should really dive deep into it and then understand. First of all, what is personality? This term personality has actually emerged from a Latin word, persona. Persona meaning this mask, what you see on the screen. This mask is used actually while in West, especially in France and a few other countries. So when they play a drama, they wear this mask so that they can hide themselves and show the character. Okay, the character which they are playing. So, in fact, persona is actually is mask. Personality development or personality has emerged from this term mask. Okay, keep this in mind. So we'll just spend little time on. Sorry, actually, I'm not really well, so I have some sore throat. Sorry if it caused any inconvenience in between. So let's just try to do little what you call academics on what is personality and what it does. So this is primarily characterized. I put this. I mean, there are so many so many ways of the describing personality. I brought it here, in fact, so that we can very easily relate to us, quickly relate to us, and then do a cross check, a personal check about our personality. Okay, so it is primarily described into 5 categories. The first one is called openness to experience. Openness to experience. Second one is conscientiousness. Conscientiousness is the second one. And then extraversion, agreeableness, and neurotism. Neurotism is the 5th one. Okay. So let's see what are these. Actually, this is all around the personality. I mean, each one is might be having a very dominant of any of these things. So you call that person as this is his personality. But everyone will be having all the 5 types of personalities, but one may dominate. So openness to experience. This is just to actually cross-check to ourselves and then see where are we? Are we there with it or somewhere? Okay. What kind of personality? I just wanted to make you relate to it. People who are open to experience are intellectually curious, open to emotions, sensitive to beauty, and willing to try new things. Primarily creative, a creative type. This personality is creative type. How do we know? So these are the few words generally this particular dominant personality people keep saying, or that's what if they ask to themselves, they'll get to know. So I have excellent ideas. Most of them, they say that I have excellent ideas. I'm quick to understand things. I use difficult words. I am full of ideas. So these are the primary traits. Okay. So those who have this dominance, and they'll be talking about these things. Openness to experience. They are creative people. Conscientiousness is a tendency to display the self-discipline. This is actually also act of dutifulness, and they strive for achievement beyond expectations. Whatever people expect from outside, they always try to excel that expectations. Okay, they try to be dutiful. No, this responsibility is given to me, I have to execute this, rest everything comes next. Okay, so for that they will do anything. So they are primarily labeled as duty bound people. Okay, so they generally they're like more stubborn and focused. They are also achievers. Okay, so but they generally say, I am always prepared, ready for anything. Okay, I pay attention to details. They don't just leave scope for anything. I like order. Things should be in order. If they do something wrong and they cannot tolerate, I follow a schedule, highly disciplined. Never forget my belongings. Always cross-check before leave a place, whether everything is collected or not. Always end up being helpful to most things. Just anything, whenever someone ask for help, they jump into it, they help, and then leave. Extraversion is actually is characterized by the breadth of activities, primarily very superficial thing. Okay, this urgency from external activity or situations, and energy creation from again external means. They engage more with the external world. So if they want happiness, they want to see from outside. If they want joy, they seek from outside. Anything they actually look for, they seek outside. They never look at themselves. That's the reason why they end up maintaining big groups. They are very dominant in groups. They talk a lot with people. They spend more time with people, friends, and things like that. So they they party a lot. And I say, I am the life of the party. So even if they are in a party, they want to be the center of attraction in the party. I do not mind being the center of attraction. This is what they say. I feel comfortable around people. If they are alone, they're so much worried, because all the happiness, everything they extract from outside, right? And then start conversations. When in silence, who picks the first conversation is these people with this dominant trait. I talk to a lot of different people in a party. And people go to a party, you can observe somebody just sit with one, hang around to one person. Some people just go some corner and spend time on their own. Some people will be keep on talking to everybody, almost meet and everyone and say hi, hi, hi. This is the dominant character of this personality type. And agreeableness is a trait reflects individual differences in general concern for social harmony. Everything, the two individuals relation, they always relate to a bigger picture, to the society, to the country, like that. Okay, they value getting along with others. They always make friends with people. They're kind, generous, trustworthy, and also trust people. They're very helpful and willing to compromise their interest with others. Even if they have something very important to execute, but if someone asks for help, they keep their need aside and then stretch themselves to help others. They also have an optimistic view of human nature. They just don't want to say that, yeah, these are all, the society is rotten, and people talk like that, right? So, but these straight people always say that, yes, I can change the society, and I alone can make some difference, and I can bring more people into it. So that's the very optimistic view of looking at human nature. So how to identify them is like, say, I sympathize with their feelings. I have a soft heart. I take time out for others. I feel others' emotions. I make people feel at ease. These are, the dominant traits to identify this primary trait of agreeableness. So, I want to play one video here, because personality and behavior is another thing actually, that we see, and we also want to understand what is this behavior coming from where. Just give me a minute. I'm here.
Have you ever noticed how some people just light up a room from argue that every person is uniquely the sum of every experience that they've had? We have all witnessed different things. We were taught specific lessons. We experienced certain.
Sir, any trouble, sir?
Okay, sorry, I have some problem in sharing the video, but that's okay.
Connect incidents.
That doesn't matter. Okay. So you can check out on YouTube. There is a nice video called Behavioral Therapy, Nature versus Nature Personality. Okay, it's there in YouTube. This video I wanted to show because you can understand how our behaviors are influenced or trained, okay, from this personality. Okay, so we spoke about few the personality traits, right? Now let us say that what is the best personality thing? Okay, the best way of managing our personality is, say, empathetic personality. Empathetic personality, that is the best personality one supposed to imbibe within themselves. Okay, so what is this empathetic personality? In fact, this is nothing but unmasking ourselves. What we said, personality is a mask. Behind this mask, what is influencing this personality is our character. Okay, character is actually the true personality. But somehow we got confused, the society, with values, personality, and character. Instead of imbibing the values into the character, we brought these values into the personality. That is where the confusion has actually emerged. As a result of it, what has happened is these values are very superficial, not internalized. We never understood the strength of these values. That's why we never brought them to the level of character. We actually made them stay very superficial at mask level. As a result of it, what we do is like a simple etiquettes, a simple values are becoming an act of personality. I'll give you an example what it is. Let's say a guest comes to our home. Okay. So the etiquette is like, you're supposed to stand up, is an elderly person, is our guest, and put a good smile at face and welcome that guest and say, please come, sit, bring a glass of water and then give it to him. This is what our parents teach us, how we supposed to behave with our guests when they come to our home. Okay. But in reality, what it is a minimum etiquette a human being supposed to have. This supposed to be a simple internal matter where all these things should invoke automatically. Automatically it should invoke. So that has to come from either training directly or training indirectly, but the training is very important. That behavioral theory video very clearly explains us how our training impacts us, a training from childhood, okay, impacts on us to build a true character, which helps us to wear no mask at any time. It's not necessary. We become so natural to whatever environment and wherever we are. A people of this nature will not have any of those 5 dominant traits. They will have one single dominant trait, that is humanness, empathy. The humanness is nothing but empathy. This empathy becomes the core dominant character of a being. Then the personality becomes so volatile, in fact, so flexible, automatically it adapts to whatever environment you are, wherever you are, to whomever you are getting exposed to. No one needs to tell us how we're supposed to receive a person. Okay, so let's just see, try to understand what is this empathy. Empathy meaning resonance, resonating two hearts. So when I am empathetic to someone, meaning what? I resonate the heart of the other person, putting ourselves in other shoe, feeling the other. There are a few different ways of explaining the same thing so that we can get connected to any of these two things. Putting ourselves in other shoe, in any discussion, in any argument, in any situations, before we utter a word, we should be able to put ourselves in the other person's shoe and feel that other person. Identifying feelings and needs of the other person. This is a very important point. I have one of my very favorite theories, which I will put forward. Okay, this is going to be extremely important for us when we initiate a dialogue with anybody under a very good environment or under a very hostile environment. Meaning hostile environment meaning under a conflict situation. Even in a conflict situation, we can still pacify the situation just by identifying the feelings and needs of the other person. Caring. Our primary intention of any interaction with others should be caring others, caring our fellow beings, listening and being considerate. What happens in any of our discussions is that we participate in a discussion to put our idea forward or to give a solution, not to listen. Okay, this is what most of the research all across the world anonymously came forward with this idea that any discussion, primarily people participate only to put their idea forward or to share their solution, offer their solution, not to listen. This is the last thing. But empathy meaning listening first. Listen. I feel how you feel. This is what we should be able to experience. I feel how you feel. When we can do that, only when we can listen to that other person. To feel into the situation of the others. So before jumping into a judgment, before even throwing a statement, before even saying anything, to feel into the situation of the other, under what kind of situation the other person is, that we should be able to feel. Then our understanding becomes very perspective. Feeling joy when others is joyous. Feeling joy, not jealous. Feeling joy when others are joyous. Connecting to the others' feelings. Heart-to-heart connections. I wish you note down all these things and make it part of your life, which will make your life so blissful, joyful, either as a student, as a career seeker, or as a professional in your later life, or wherever, whenever you are. So these few words I put here will help you like mantra, if you can remember them, and then if you can take them, if you can imbibe them into your life. So what does it mean? It means empathy is unmasking. If you remove the mask, there's no need to understand the mind of a person to act accordingly. The moment you feel that other person in your heart, then your heart automatically resonates. It responds what is right way to be responded. You don't need to know what it is. Heart knows. You just need to follow, connect to the heart and follow the heart. That is what is empathy. That's the one single mantra which can help everywhere is empathy. Even these days, leadership, the best leadership is empathetic leadership. I was reading an article yesterday, about 9/11 incident, what has happened in Mumbai. So Ratan Tata, what he did when there was an attack on Taj Hotel, some of his employees died, sacrificed their life while trying to save their guests. A person, a stager, having a stager of that kind, Ratan Tata, in fact, he went and attended each and every of those deceased employees' cremations. He visited each one of those families and he spent time with the family members. And then he announced whatever was the last salary that person was drawing. So for their family members, until their last rites, the salary will be given to their family. So only he could do, because he could resonate the emotions and feelings of the loss of such people, by the family members. He could connect to his own employees, how painful it is to really, put their lives across and sacrifice while saving their guests. So that is the empathetic leadership. Ratan Tata is the best example of a leader because he's an empathetic leader. Okay. So what is empathy? In a single word, if I have to put, empathy is true character. It is the true character of caring. So empathy is heart-to-heart connection. Let my interaction be heart-to-heart connection, not correction. Let my interaction be heart-to-heart connection, not the correction. This last thing is kindly, guys, remember. As I told you, we have the habit of jumping into putting or making the corrections. Correct others. We think we are caring for them and we try to correct them. So correction we don't need to do if we can connect to them. Correction happens automatically. The intention will drive the corrections. Okay. So this is the chart I was talking to you. Yeah, this is the chart I was referring to you. This chart is called the flow of life. What this chart describes is a communication between two people. Okay. So when there are two people sitting across, if really we have to make that the conversation between those two people to be very productive, then we should make sure what happens here. The very first thing, if you see in the outer circle, you have intention and you have connection. So when two people are sitting, then you both must connect to each other before even initiate the discussion. That connection is very important. And then you should have the right intention of whatever is the discussion. Whatever is it's a good discussion or a rough discussion or whatever it is, your intention should be right. Then only the discussion will be fruitful. So intention should be right and you should really connect. Okay. So if you come to this connection, what is important to have that connection? You should have attention and you should be present there. Present, not just physically, mentally, intentionally, everything, all sides. Dr. Murali Garu, I think your microphone is switching on frequently. Make sure it is in mute. Okay, sorry. So attention, you should be attentive. So if you need to be attentive, then you need to be holistically present there, mentally, physically, and intentionally. Everything you should be present there. Then only you can make an attention, full attention on the discussion. Okay. Then when you have a full attention on that discussion, what happens if you see this, the flow of life, the circle. First, I should connect to myself. I should connect to myself so that my connection can be felt by the other person. Okay? So first connect to myself and then receive others. I only not connect to myself, but also connect to the other person. When I connect to the other person, I'll be able to welcome him, receive others, and then expressing myself. Okay? This is possible. So this is called flow of life. It always keeps going, okay? Connect, receive, and expression. So everything, whatever discussion we do, so it goes like this: connection, receiving, and expression, okay? So, and what we receive, how we receive the other person, not by those words and everything. We receive the other person with feelings. What is the feeling of the other person? Is he happy, unhappy, or disappointed, discouraged, not interested, or what is it? That's the feeling. That feelings. So that is the observation. So what we'll be observing is the feelings. These are feelings that what we receive. Beauty of this concept is, until here, most of us know that. Most of us understand up to this, there is nothing really new. But what is core here is behind every feeling, there is a need. Behind every feeling, there is a need. One should be able to identify that need. Okay. So let's say that you want to go for a movie. Okay. So, and then you ask your parents, okay, I want to go for a movie. If they say yes, then you are happy. Your feeling is happy. And if they say no, and you are unhappy, right? So the other person will be able to see your happiness or unhappiness. So if you only respond from there, the happiness and unhappiness, then I get into a kind of consoling, no, don't worry, and all those things, right? But if I can understand your need, what is your actual need, which need is being fulfilled or which need is not being fulfilled, that is what is compassion. That is what is empathy. Okay, the empathy is able to connect and identify the need behind the feelings. The need behind the feelings we will be able to identify only with empathy. If we don't have that empathy, this can never happen. Okay, we will be always dealing with feelings. So, and then we either connect or disconnect with the feelings. If we are able to look at it empathetically, then we will be able to identify their needs, and then the connection is different. And then what happens is, now the final step comes is request. If we don't connect to that, our requests are going to be in a different way. So if my son asks, Daddy, I want to go for a movie, and if I don't really see his need of just want to let it be very free for him, or he want to just relax, what is that need? If I don't identify it, and if I just reject, then there is a problem. Instead of that, if I am able to connect to my son empathetically and then look at his need, then my request pattern is different. So I would say, instead of saying that you always want to go for a movie, that may be my reaction if I don't really connect to his need. If I can connect to his need, then I might say, if I have free time, I might say that, okay, let's go. Or or you can go. Okay. Or if that is not possible, then I can very constructively tell him that you can go, this coming Sunday. Okay. So the request also should be that way. Very concrete, not vague. Say, okay, next time we will see, is a very vague response. This is also, again, this happens if we don't really establish that connection. If we establish that connection, our intention is really to connect and satisfy the need, not satisfy the feeling at mind level. If we want to satisfy the need at mind level, then we give vague answers. If we really connect to the needs, we will be giving the very accurate replies or requests connecting to the heart. So this chart actually helps us so much in our demonstrating our character. Do we have empathetic relationships? Do we have empathetic conversations? Do we have empathetic synergies? Okay. So why I put this out here is look for the hidden needs in the other person always. That helps you to interact in a better way and build your own world in a much better, much more efficient manner. Okay. So from the previous conversation, I can draw convert them into 4 different tools to really make my, the empathy, put that empathy in action. Okay. So what we should do, observe. Observe what? The actuals. Observe the actuals, what has happened. Okay. Observation is also perspective. There is absolute observation, like knowing the fact, and also perspective observation, like knowing the fact from the perspective of the other person. That helps you to establish the feeling linked to the need of the other person. There could be an absolute, the reality is also perspective reality. So unless we make an observation of these 2 things, we will not be able to get the right feeling to identify which is linked to the right need. Okay. And then find out my needs or values and my requests. These are the 4 mantra. Observation, feelings, needs, and requests will always make our life so happy, and that helps us to lead a friction-free life to a great extent. Okay. But how to put it in practice? Is it that easy? Is it so simple as I mentioned to you? I don't think so. It's not that easy, but it's not impossible also. Whatever we are today, we are that because of our training, from our experiences, and from our observations. Whatever we are going to be tomorrow, it will be based on what we are today, what we experience today, what we learn today, what we do today. Okay. So what we are today is based on what we did in the past. What we will be in the future depends on what we are doing today. So future can be changed. Whatever we are, out of all those personality traits, if we really want to be an empathetic human being, where that one single personality trait which can make one very compassionate, very peaceful, very happy, and then successful a human being, then we can still, we have time, we have way, we have methods, we have things to really, put in practice. execute and achieve the success. Okay. Unmasking can be done anytime. We should have interest, we should have intention, and we should have patience to practice. That's all. Okay. So, if you see here, from my own personal experience, meditation is one very powerful tool. Meditation is one very, very powerful tool which can help us to change into anything from at any time. We can change from anything to anything. I'm not only talking about from bad to good. It can be from good to better, better to the best. Okay. So wherever we are, we can advance ourselves to a much better human being, much more balanced being, much more presentable being, much more receptive being. Okay. Yogi Patanjali, several years ago, introduced a concept called Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga has 8 angas, starting from Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Meditation comes at 7th place, Dhyana. Sorry. And then, and then Samadhi. Okay. I don't talk so much about meditation. It is something to be practiced. Okay. But I'll try to explain about Yama and Niyama, where these two things needs to be very consciously practiced, where empathy becomes second nature of every one of us. None of these things are actually related to any systems of beliefs. This is for human benefit in general. In general, anywhere, I mean, these are terminologies may be coming from somewhere, but they have a very, very wider application, very, very broad application. Okay. So let's just dive a little deep into Yama and Niyama. Okay. When it comes to Yama, what Yama speaks about is it has 5 sub-angas: Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Ahimsa, Satya. And Niyama also has 5 sub-angas: Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishwar Pranidhan, Saucha, Santosh. They're actually Sanskrit terminologies. So we don't need to worry about it. They're very simple, and most of those terminology we know. We know most of those things, but we may not know the importance of those things. So that's the reason why we ignore putting them in practice. Okay. If you see Yama, honesty, moderation of senses, attitude of non-possessiveness, non-violence, truthfulness. If we speak in English, we understand, right? They are very, very familiar all the time. Most of the time we speak about it all across, right? What is this we have to do? How do we practice these things? In reality, all these 5 sub-angas of Yama are natural components of a being. We don't need to practice them. We don't need to practice honesty. Honesty is a natural thing in a human being, unless we practice dishonesty. Okay. What we are doing is like the opposite of these things. We became slaves of the opposite of these five sabangas. Opposite: dishonesty, no moderation of senses, attitude of possessiveness, violence. We enjoy violence. We want to see always action movies, horror movies. We enjoy violence. And faking. There is no truthfulness. These are very normal characters of human being. The reason why it became like that, why we are not honest. We are not honest because we are afraid. There is a fear which is masking the honesty, which is hidden, which is part of a very natural form of our being. Moderation of senses. What has happened that I am addicted to something. I love this taste. I love sweets. We keep saying this, right? I love, this rose flower. So when we give so much importance to our senses, when we are addicted to these senses, these tastes and things like that, passion we call so much with stress of passion. That is what is the problem. Passion is actually a very positive word, primarily used by Swami Vivekananda in a positive sense. But in the Western world, in English, actually, the passion is not a right word. But Swami Vivekananda used it in a different sense altogether. The passion is the thirst, is the deepest or the strongest thirst to achieve something. That is what he used it as a passion. But passion in a regular term is very loosely actually spoken in English for the sensual things, and also for the senses, any of the senses getting too much aggravated. Okay, so that's not what it is. So if we can avoid such kind of desires, then moderation becomes very natural. Attitude of possessiveness, non-possessiveness. So why possessiveness is there? Possessiveness is, again, it is, I am afraid that I may not be able to. So I don't want to donate my money. So I have some money and I see a beggar here, a needy person. If I have to give money, so that I'm very possessive of it. If I have something in my hand, which I'm using, or somebody wants it, I'm so possessive of it, I don't want to give it. Because I don't have confidence of gaining it again. I may not be able to buy it again. These are the insecurities, insecure feelings cause this the possessiveness, or attachment to things cause this possessiveness. If you remove those negative, the other negative things, then non-possessiveness is a very natural thing. So that we know that we are all brethren and of this entire humanity. We know that we are all human beings, and we are all like we are all the children of the divine, and we need to help each other. We need to share among all these things. We talk a lot. We know all these things because it's a very natural form of a human being. But there are other things which are masking, which are dominating as a personality. As I told you, that is where this comes into the picture. Those masks come because those masks are nothing but the trainings which are given to us by our peers, our elders, the society. Unless we unmask them, this yama, 5 angas of yama, cannot be expressed. It is when these 5 angas of yama are expressed, then what is the result? Is the true empathy. The true empathy. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to practice about it. It becomes very, very natural, truly natural, right? On the other side, if you see niyama, what you have in niyama, tapas, swadhyaya, Ishwar pranidhan, swacha, and santosh, right? Let's touch upon one after other. Like niyama is a removal of impurities, or tapas, or meditation, or a practice where I don't want, I get rid of all negativity from within, right? That is what is tapas. Okay, this we need to practice. This should be part of our daily routine. Okay, we need to put our will, we need to make an intention and then practice it. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya meaning is a self-study. Self-study is putting 24 cameras around me. Boldly observe myself, my behaviors, my thought process, my doings, everything about me. I should know much before anybody knows, so that I'll have a scope to do the correction. The core corrections can be really made with this swadhyaya. If we practice this swadhyaya, this expressing this yama, all the 5 angas of yama, becomes very easy. Okay, we invest a lot of money in studying others, observing others, making so many things with others. But if we invest that much of amount of efforts and time on our own selves, then what happens? It becomes so easy to resonate with others. Because when we observe others, ourselves, when we remove all the negative characters, negativities, then yama becomes very natural. Then what happens? There's nothing, no barrier, there's no prejudice, nothing coming in between me and the person in front of me. I can very easily resonate with the other person. Okay. Ishwar pranidhan. Surrender to God, whoever is that God, whoever is the God you believe, irrespective, some supremacy. Okay. Surrender to the supremacy. This is also other way of putting it. Always put the other person ahead of you. I am good, but other person is also good. Okay. If I am divine and other person is also divine, if I am part of a divine creation, then everything around me is also divine creation. There is nothing less than, nothing more, nothing less. It's all is divine creation. This feeling of wonder, the feeling of openness, the feeling of welcomeness can really be achieved with surrender to the divine, whoever it is. Saucha, purity of body and mind. Always we should, maintain the purity at a physical level, but also at a mental level. At a mental level also purity. What is mental level? Purity at mental level is the intentions. Always your intention should be right, in the right direction. Okay. And santosh, contentment and inner happiness. Okay. So we should be very happy internally always. You don't need to make a loud laugh or things like that. But it is always important to keep yourself happy, connect yourself, and be happy. So contained. No need to be very reactive to everything around you. Okay. So these are the niyamas we should really put into practice. And while we practice this niyama, if we observe the layers covering in front of this niyama, sabangas of niyama, and remove them, then the sabangas of this niyama becomes so natural, and it brings order in our life joy in our life, and personality, character, values, everything becomes one, and that one is empathy. When empathy is put into action, is called compassion. The compassion, a person with a compassion, always a happy person, a joyful person, because always he'll be doing something for the welfare of the others, not necessarily other beings, but for anything in the nature. Okay, those are the people who are the center of the earth. Those are the people because of whom, like, we are all be able to maintain this happiness and then joy, live a good and comfortable life. Okay, so I'll just try to give you a small guided practice of how to connect it to ourselves. How do I initiate or trigger swadhyaya? You guys are all ready? So if you are all ready, I just want you to close your eyes and then just follow the guided steps which I keep guiding you. Just close your eyes and follow it, okay, and see what happens. Okay, so I'll take 5 minutes of yours to help you to do my best to connect with yourself. Okay, and then see what happens with that connection. Okay. Um, I'll get back in 10 seconds, okay? Okay. If you're all ready, close your eyes gently. Feel yourself. Feel your heart. Feel your heartbeats. And try to feel the vibrations of that heart are expanding to the whole body. The divine energy which resides in the heart is also experiencing, expanding all around your body. Try to feel each and every parts of your body, your heart, lungs, you breathe, and other parts, hands, your legs. Feel your entire body, is filled with the divine energy, which is vibrating from your heart. Just feel each and every cell of your body are so light and vibrating so individually, like energy molecules. Each of them are resonating with the other one. I now imagine one of my best friends sitting in front of me. Anybody, a friend or a family member or someone, a stranger, doesn't matter, right there in front of me. Now with the same vibrations, the same connections I established with myself, I could also do it with that other person. I feel the vibrations of the heart. I feel the vibrations of each and every cell of that other person's body. I feel the emotions of that other person. I could now resonate. Resonate the feelings of the other person. I thank the ultimate or divinity or my God for helping me to establish this connection. I thank Him for helping me to feel myself. I thank Him to be able to connect to myself. You may slowly open your eyes, but you may still continue having the good feeling in your heart. So, in this way, very subtly, very gently, by closing eyes or even without closing eyes, we should be able to establish connection with myself and with the other person. Revibrate, resonate, establish that empathy, which becomes the true personality, which helps us really to become a better being. As a whole, meditation of any system, any practice would be of a great help to connect to ourselves and also to establish the connection with others. So I request you all young budding engineers to practice meditation. Any method of meditation is absolutely fine. Okay. What matters is the intention to establish that connection. Okay. With that intention, you can practice any available system of meditation. We have been working with VJIT from several years. So I believe this heartfulness meditation is being practiced in VJIT, and I'm just giving a few numbers here in case if anybody wants to continue meditation or learn more. It's all free of cost. You can do it. But meditate, unveil the true personality, unmask, and the character should be the real personality. That should be the mantra, what you should practice for the future of your life. So unmask yourself, be real. I hope you enjoyed, and I seriously wish it is informative and some inspiration you must have drawn from some of these slides. Thank you very much and wish you all the best. Srivani madam, yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the informative talk. And our students seem to have experienced something extraordinary today. Yeah. Any questions from the students and the faculty? So I have a student asking about how the various types of personalities can affect the success. So because like there would be many types of personalities among many students, or so how they would affect the success rate in future.
Yeah. So of late, there are a lot of studies. So much research is being done on these personality types, and then with us in association with the success. The success is again a subjective term. Success in terms of monetary, success in terms of profession, success in terms of my own self, the realization. There are many ways of describing the success. Okay, but most of the times success is actually treated, perceived like, someone have a target and achieving the target. Okay, it could be a professional, personal, or anything. So this is a better way of describing the success. So very, very clearly, the research data is coming out and it says none of these personality traits are of actually any domination of any of these personality traits are of use to achieve the success. Okay. So that's the reason why you should be one with only one thing, that empathy. This is a new term, new way of looking at things. The psychologists, this business psychology divisions and societal psychology, many ways, from all perspectives, people are coming back to this compassion and empathy, which is a single thing can help you in achieving the success. Okay. So the moment your target is linked to the empathy, there is no way that you can give up. Because success depends on how you are connected to the goal, how much time you are spending in improving yourself or getting ready with yourself or equipping yourself to drive the success, and how much patience you have, how long you can wait until you achieve the success. Yes, everything has its own gestation periods. It's not possible to deliver a baby in 1 month. Okay. So it is 9 months. But what kind of a baby, how I can, that all the process. So you should be able to have that kind of a patience. So what is that single thing which can help all these parameters is being able to connect to the goal, that is empathy. If it is empathetic connection to the goal, then nothing can stop your success. This is what is the latest, the research are talking about.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the clarification on empathy and success and growth. Okay, thank you so much, sir. And I now take the privilege of proposing a vote of thanks to Dr. Sairam Reddy for giving his valuable time and invaluable guidance to our future professionals. And my sincere thanks to the management of BJIT and our HOD, Professor Rajendra Prasad, for his constant guidance and support. And my gratitude to the robust league of our faculty and my dear freshers for making this program remarkable. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
My dear students, please note that you will be informed about the commencement of your classes in your respective WhatsApp groups. Until then, please stay connected with us on the WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
I'm ending the meeting, madam.
Yeah.